Smith and Trooper from Arkansas. We've done some work with Troop here. We've shot around him, 22 and everything. Want to get him used to not just things in motion on the ground. I want to also get him used to the feel of this rope around his legs while we're in motion. A lot of times these guys will put up with stuff while they're standing that once they're in motion, it bothers them. So what I've done here is I've just got a long rope dallied around my saddle horn, a loose end through the handle of this blue barrel. So if he were to take off, all he would have to do is drop this end of the rope and we'd be free from the barrel. I don't want to tie to it. I don't want that chasing him if he feels he does have to leave. But what we're going to do is work with his curiosity a little bit. And from here, I can drag this barrel towards us. And I'll see what he does. If he stays curious, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. If I see he's getting anxious or wants to leave, I'm going to stop and I'm going to let him settle before we continue. Right now, he's a little more intrigued by the rope than he is the barrel. I'm going to draw this in again. What I want to see is him be curious. If he's curious, we'll let him explore for a while, and then we'll draw it closer. If he were to get nervous right now and back up and say this has invaded my comfort zone, we would just stop here and let him settle, go do something else and come back to it. This is his first experience with this, and we want it to be a good one. That old saying, first impressions are the lasting ones, it's the same with animals. Right here. So there his nose went toward it a little bit. So I'm just going to let him sit for a minute. Before I bring it any closer, I want to see what he does. I've mentioned before, this is kind of like a chess game. My next move will depend on what his move is. So I want to see what he does. And instead of just having my agenda and saying he must adjust, we have to adjust to each other here. There. Now see, there's the curiosity. It took maybe, 30 seconds for that to appear, maybe a little longer. If I had just kept pulling that barrel to him, I would have never given him that opportunity, big old fly, to investigate. And I want him to be totally settled. We've got a huge fly after us here. Totally settled before I pull that in. I want him to express all the curiosity he wants to. Now I'm going to back him away from this. Let the rope out. I'm going to bring it to us again. Now I could just feel his body shift back a little bit. He didn't spook or anything, but his body shifted back as that approached. That's where I'm going to stop and wait and just see what he does. If he doesn't move, we'll bring it on in. And I'm going to do this before I ever decide to drag this behind us and put him in motion. He has to understand this first, that that's not a threat. He can make it a plaything. Now I'm going to ask him to back up. I'm going to bring that barrel with us and just see what he does. There we go. I hope you see the difference there. His nose is down. He's backing with the barrel instead of away from it. That's what I want to see. There's not a flight or anxiety there. He's bringing it with us instead of trying to get away from it. That's a good place to start. That tells us after a bit we can start dragging it around us and he won't be so bothered. But again, that first impression is what's critical. We have to let him have some choices